The House Intelligence Committee wrapped up its public impeachment hearings on Capitol Hill, but another story continues to unfold surrounding the son of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. While the Ukraine scandal revealed the Biden family's ties to the country, the less told story surrounding Paul Pelosi Jr. that's still unraveling on the sidelines following revelations that he was a board member of the Ukraine oil company Viscoil, an executive for NRG Lab. One America's Rachel Acenas caught up with journalist Patrick Howley, who's been covering the story of the House Speaker's son. Take a look.
I wanted to follow up with you because you've been covering this Paul Pelosi Jr. story and his business ties to Ukraine. So, Patrick, what, if anything else new has since emerged from this particular story?
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for having me. Paul Pelosi Jr. is now under fire from a new set of allegations. A woman named Karina Feng, who is the daughter of a legendary Chinese healer and acupuncturist in San Francisco, did an interview with me in which she accused Paul Pelosi Jr. and his associates, and she's now suing him, of ripping off the title and stealing her father's former property. This property is now a drug house. It's a den of prostitution, and she's claiming that Paul Pelosi Jr. defrauded her out of this property. She's also claiming that Paul Pelosi Jr. forced her to have an abortion and also weaponized Child Protective Services in order to intimidate her and get her children taken away when she reported him to the city of San Francisco for fraud.
We now know that two major Democrats, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden, have sons with business connections in Ukraine, and we just went through that public impeachment hearing centered around that Ukraine phone call between President Zelensky and President Trump. How do you think the Paul Pelosi Jr. story plays into this Democrat-led impeachment effort?
I think it's clear that Democrats and also establishment Republicans, people of the political class, were using Ukraine as their own personal piggy bank by putting their family members on the boards of companies to act as surrogates. This is total quid pro quo. Foreign aid, I believe, was used in order to grease this foreign country, Ukraine, in order to advantage the private sector business deals that were being done by these Democrats.
What specifically do you think should happen next when it comes to Paul Pelosi Jr. and Nancy Pelosi?
I believe that Republicans in Congress have subpoena power and they're not using it. I think Republicans are on defense during this entire impeachment process when President Trump is out there saying, look, I'm exposing the corruption. I'm exposing the private sector business deals, the cronyism that was going on in Ukraine, the corruption. And in fact, by law, the United States is supposed to help Ukraine clean up their corruption. And so this is all a diversion in order for the Democrats to ameliorate themselves of these private sector, very shady business deals that they were doing. Rachel, I think it's very clear that the U.S. government was used by political elites in order to enrich themselves through shady business deals, and they are willing to weaponize the U.S. government against people who call them out on it. And I think the war being waged by politically connected elites against regular people is the real story here.
Thank you so much, Patrick, for your time. I really do appreciate that.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.